Hi everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Dennis. So today I'm going to talk about some things that I experienced when building a new system with Intel CPU. Now, first off, it came with a USB that for some reason got corrupted, so I didn't have any of the drivers. So that actually helped a little bit. So you have to go in, and I recommend you go in to the manufacturer's website to get all your drivers and everything anyway. By doing an Intel build, there's a whole lot of stuff I didn't know, wasn't sure of, and wanted to make sure. So I would have gone to their site anyway. So this kind of forced me. But what it did do is, we're talking about Windows 11 now, you can't create a local account. Well, that's not necessarily true. If you have, like mine is a Wi-Fi motherboard. So as long as you don't attach the antenna and you don't have the drivers on it, when you start it all up, just install your operating system using a USB stick. And right off the bat, it can't find your Wi-Fi, it can't find the internet, so it will let you set up a local account. Now if it doesn't, well then there's a lot of other videos that show you how to get by that. How to bypass and stuff, because if you're a system builder like I am, a local account is what you want. You don't want to set up your account and then sell it to somebody and now they have access to everything you got. So that's something to keep in mind. But that's not what the video is about. I just wanted to mention that. So there's also other things that you want to be able to get. So I'm going to show you some of the files. I'm going to show you some of the software and the things to pay attention to, and some of the things you can do with the software that you do download. So we're going to get started. I'm going to show you all that. I'm going to explain a little bit of it to give you more feedback on all the steps that you want to make sure you do to get everything up and running so you don't have the problems down the road. So let's get going. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is search out your motherboard. So my motherboard was the MAG Z790 Tomahawk Wi-Fi. All right, so you go in here, first thing you're going to do is go to support, and that's going to bring up all your drivers. Okay, you can download your drivers so you can update your BIOS, which I do recommend. There's a driver that's required. I don't know if you've seen any videos on it recently, but there's videos out there right now talking about how with MSI motherboards and some other ones as well, the voltages and stuff like that they're too high for the motherboard. So Intel has come out with their own settings and stuff that they want to make work. So they have purposely done that. It's an AMI BIOS. You can see it right here, version 7D91V H3C is the beta. I didn't choose that one. I chose the one just down below that, which actually is, no, because there's two betas on here now actually. I chose this one, the 7D91V HB. Now you can download it, update your BIOS using that. That's not what this video is about. I'm not showing you how to update it. There's risk involved, but don't do it unless you have to. But it is a recommended thing to do. All right, keep that in mind. Especially as added support for the 12th and 13th gen CPUs, which I'm running, and they've updated some stuff for the 14th gen CPUs. So you want to keep that in mind for something you want to do. Okay, just something to point out. However, if you look at it, there's drivers. So if you want to do any of this on your currently built system, you need to download your Intel chipset driver. Download that, get that activated. After that, I didn't worry about the SVGA drivers. Onboard audio, I did that. I did the Realtek, and Windows 11 may find this for you, so you may not even have to worry about it, but it's just an idea. And I did do this one here, the MSI USB Audio FW Update Tool. Alright, but more importantly, before you can do any of that, before you can hook up onto your Wi-Fi network, get your LAN drivers working for your Ethernet, you have to have these drivers. So your Intel Wi-Fi driver and your Intel network drivers. If you don't do those, you're not going to be able to do anything. Doesn't matter if you have a Wi-Fi motherboard, it won't work unless you have the drivers on it first. And of course, then you can go here, Intel Rapid Storage Technology, okay, update that, and you have other drivers. So your Intel Dynamic Tuning your I/O serial I/O drivers, Intel Management Engine Driver, and Intel G&E Scoring Accelerator. Now, these are all important, but utility is also important. Make sure you got the Windows 11 version or whatever one is applicable to what you're using. Right? You want to overclock. Intel Extreme Tuning Utility. I'll show you that in a little bit here. Show you just some of the things it can do. You want to test under a full load like I did in my previous video. It even gives you AIDA64 Extreme MSI Edition. It's the trial version. Alright? Lasts for 30 days. So if you're going to do it, don't wait too long. Make sure you do it. And I do recommend buying it. It's a great product. And I've got it on some of my other systems. And it's well worth having if you ever need to test something down the road. So, of course, CPU-C, MSI Gaming, that gives you a lot of information as well. Now, you do not absolutely need this. But if you plan to overclock, you do need the Intel Extreme Tuning Utility. And there's a whole pile of stuff you have to do in there. I will quickly show you that. I'm not going to overclock, so I won't show you a lot of it. But I wanted to show you where you got to go and what you got to do to get this stuff happening. If you need help on how to do some of this stuff, go into the manual and document. You can download the manual. You can select multi-language and just click on download. It actually is automatically selected. Click download and it'll come up. You can pick the language you want. Alright, it will give you that ability. Alright, EMI, I didn't even look at this. Declarations of Conformability. I don't even know what that is. So I did not do that. But it's a document. I probably should. Have a look at it. If you have questions, they have frequently asked questions in here. How to get your Intel Dynamic Tuning technology working? What does it do? All these things are here to answer your questions. When you're new to building a PC, whether it be Intel or AMD, you should go in here. Whether you've built an Intel system or an AMD system, check this out. Read these questions, especially if there's something on there that sounds like something you don't know about. I know myself, I've built a lot of systems. But to say that I know all of this, no. It behooves you to go in, take some time, read through it, a little at a time. Just pick one, read through it. Pick another one later on. It will help you out. You need warranty information. It's all right here. It tells you all the stuff you need to know. Gaming motherboards, professional motherboards. It'll pick whatever one. And, of course, compatibility. Right? Tells you all the different CPUs, the speeds they work at, wattages, so you know how much your system is going to drain. And there's 9 pages of it right here alone. All right, memory. Okay, you want to check out what memory you can use. All right, it's in here by 13th gen, 14th, 12th. It's all in here. These are important things to find out. Storage. The most compatible devices for your motherboard. They're right here. And there's lots of them. Like 10 pages, and there's probably more. Compatible devices, optical devices, USB, network adapters, power supply, monitor, all of it. Just go in and read. And check it out. Now, let's go look at some of the software that I downloaded from here so you can see what it is and a little bit about how it works, including if you want to get your lighting working on your case. You want to get your lighting working on your case, you have to know how to do it. It's very simple. You got your MSI software. You have to download. Now, I recommend MSI Center. They've improved it immensely. Download that software. After you do your first couple updates or downloads, you don't want to do all of them or you're a little nervous about it. Just do your Wi-Fi and your LAN. Get that up and running, and then go here and actually just go get MSI Center first, and then I'll show you in there how you can update everything, including your BIOS. That's actually how I updated my BIOS. Normally I use a USB stick. I wanted to try it, make sure, see if live update would work, and it does. It works really, really well. I'm going to show you a little bit about that. So let's get going on to that next. Alright, so I wanted to start off showing you that the system is up and working. And this is what's known as the flame mode. I never heard of it before, but they keep changing things up, coming up with different patterns and different color schemes. And this one looks pretty good. So I'm going to go into the software now. We'll use OBS to capture everything. And then we'll show you how to use some of the things that are there, show you some of the software that I recommend you put on your system, because it's just not going to function right otherwise. So let's go have a look at that. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to show you that's most important to you, I've showed you some of this other stuff already. I did download the GeForce Experience just because when you do just the driver, you don't get some of the codecs. So if you want to record some of the higher settings so you can put it into a video, you want to go to the GeForce Experience. I don't know why the driver itself doesn't do that, but if you go GeForce Experience, you get a lot of the codecs that you don't get otherwise. I have no explanation for why that happens, except that until I did that, it didn't work. Anyhow, let's move on. So Intel Extreme Tuning. Normally there's an icon here, but I got rid of the icon because I can easily find it in here. All I have to do is click All Apps, scroll down, and we go Intel Extreme Tuning Utility. All right, it takes a little bit to load, but you can do an automatic overclock just by clicking that button. You want to run a benchmark? Down here, you can get an advanced view. Shows you a whole bunch more. It shows you your performance core ratio, efficient core ratio, and your voltage offset, which is basically nothing right now. All right, you can do all of this, click apply, and it's going to do it. All right, I want to go back. I'm just going to do this one more time. Let's see if I can go back here. I'm going to bring that open one more time. Here, let's go with advanced view maybe. So in the advanced view, you've got a lot more information here. CPU utilization, memory, package temperatures, your CPUs, your E-cores, your P-cores, all that. I think it's called P-cores, but your different cores, there's efficiency and performance, I believe it is. I'm not really sure. Like I say, I'm pretty new to Intel, but it shows you everything you want to know right here. Are you throttling? It'll tell you in here. Thermal throttling, right there. All right. What are you processing at? Right now we're at idle, we're not doing anything. How much wattage are you using right now? All right, hold your mouse over each one of them. It gives you a little readout, right? Tells you more information. That is pretty useful. You want to find out your BIOS, what BIOS you're using. I'm using version H.BO. All right, that's for my particular motherboard, which is right here. All right, your graphics card, how much memory it has on it. These are all good bits of information to be able to find out. There you have physical cores 6, logical cores 8, physical CPU, if E-cores are 8 and logical 8. All right, possible turbo bends are unlimited, and turbo overclockable, yes, true. So you use your banks, your memory, just good information to know. And if you want to find out. Now it says there's an update available for installation. Please download and install the latest one. You can do it right here. Okay, you don't have to do any of that. You want a benchmark? Go right here, run your benchmark. Come up and give you a score. You want to stress test it? You can do it here. Advanced tuning, like I say, you can do all the different overclocking and stuff. It's going to tell you, do you sure you want to do it? So if you're going to do that, make sure you read all the things. Get your information, get your BIOS updates if you're going to do that. But let's go to MSI Center so I can show you some more stuff. It's usually loaded in your system tray right here. So you just click on it and it should load up. I think I have to double click maybe. Yeah, all right. So in here I've got the flame, all right? And there's multiple different things you can choose, right? All kinds, right in here. Choose all your different color schemes, how fast you want it to go, what the brightness is, and once you've chosen it all, click apply. If you've got other things in your system, you can sync them up, right? Not game sync. You have to go in here and it'll usually give you another thing. You can sync your motherboard and different items will show up in here so you can select them. You can select it here sometimes, right? You can specifically say, okay, I want that one to be one color. If you have different devices. Right now I don't have that, so I can't show it to you. Color schemes, you can have actual numbers for your color schemes if you want. If you have a favorite color, you can pick it out of here. It'll go in here and it'll save it. All right, just things you want to know. But more importantly, what if you want to go to your support? Okay, well, first let's go show you system info. all your BIOS versions, what the date of it was, 13th gen, memory, all that kind of good stuff. Now you want to go to features. You can pick all these different things: system diagnosis, diagnostics, MSI engine, hardware monitoring. Right, that's the one I had in my previous video. Features. So the one we want to go back to is the live update. Now, let's see if I go for this here. Okay, service is there, but live update. Once you have this installed, now it's going to keep prompting you every now and then to install Norton 360. I don't like Norton 360, so I don't do that. If you click on advanced, just take a second. Okay, no updates available, but it says MSI does not recommend to update the BIOS when the system doesn't have any issues. All right, it doesn't normally come up with beta versions. All right, keep that in mind. So you want to do other updates, click on scan. It should come up and tell me if there's anything. Now I've done all mine, so it's not going to show you, but it will. So let me see, can I show you anything else here? Feature sets. All right, a lot of people want to know how to do this. You want to turn on your MSI AI engine. You can update them, open them. All your updates are in here. See, you can see your Mystic Light has an update. Devices, you can speed them up. Superchargers. All right, all these things are down here. So if you install this, it gives you a lot more of an experience for what you're going to be able to do. All right, these are important. You want to go here, the little cog for settings. If you don't want it to start every time the system comes on, turn it off. Close button should minimize MSI Center to the system tray. If you don't want that, turn it off. If you don't want it to always update, again, turn it off. It gives you the ability to choose on your own. Now I've got allow MSI to collect processes and use your product information in order to improve your user experience. I didn't know that was on there. Would I like to turn it off? Absolutely. So just something to be aware of. So if you don't go through here and look at all these different things, you're not going to know what's going on. I wanted to show you that because that's very important. So you got MSI Center, you got the G4 experience to get some codecs in order to make OBS Studios work properly. Then if you want to do a stress test, you can use AIDA64 Extreme, which comes with the drivers from the manufacturer's website. So does CPU-C for MSI. All that stuff is there. Right? I think these are very important things to have. If you don't update the drivers for your Wi-Fi or your LAN, you're not going to be able to do anything on the internet until you do. So those are the first things I recommend you get and start doing. All right, everybody, so that was just a quick overview of some of the software you're going to need. Make sure you install the LAN driver and the Wi-Fi driver. If you don't plan to use the Ethernet ever, then just install the Wi-Fi driver. That's fine. I do recommend having the other one because you never know where you're going to want to plug it in, and you're suddenly going to grab a cable and plug it in, not know why it's not working. So do that too. Doesn't hurt anything, but it's up to you. It's your choice. All right, so you got overclocking with the Intel Extreme Tuning. You've got everything you want to do for benchmarking, getting your information so you know what to update, and even if you want to do a BIOS update, it's there. You can do it. Use live update and you're good to go. Make sure if you're going to do it. Otherwise, there's multiple ways to update your BIOS. This is just another version. Now, not all software that comes with your motherboard is reliable. This one's taken a lot of revisions, and I have found it's reliable so far. Doesn't mean down the road it might cause me some grief, but I've used it a few times now, and I'm pretty happy to say that it works very well. In fact, it'll lock your keyboard and mouse once the BIOS starts, and you'll be able to go through. Now, I do recommend one thing. If you're going to do the BIOS live update, make sure your computer is plugged into a UPS. So should the power go out, you're not going to lose power. It'll take off the UPS. It'll keep it running long enough to get the BIOS update done. All right, just something to know. So I hope this video gives you a little information and helps you out, get you going. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. If you're new here, think about subscribing. Hit that bell for notifications. And as always, thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.